Can you see? Okay.
Can you hear like noises behind me?
No, no,
Okay.
you're good. All right then. So I am gonna close out the YouTube. Okay, so we can get started now. So hi everyone. Just thank you for joining us during this session. Like during the next hour or so, we're gonna be talking about different topics such as campus spaces, hidden gems at UCSD, and the area around UCSD as well. I know with COVID and online learning, it's not the same. So just try to keep that in mind, please. Um, and if anyone in the audience has any questions or like any comments, just feel free to send them through the YouTube Live and we'll answer them as soon as we see them. So I'm going to start off. My name is Daniela. I will be the host for the session. And joining us today, we have two lovely alumni who just graduated from UCSD. And if y'all could introduce yourselves, just say your name, your major, the college you attended, maybe a minor. That'd be wonderful.
Hi everyone. So I'm Jackie. I was in Muir College and I did my major in bioengineering. Hello everyone. My name is Tanya. I was in Eleanor Roosevelt College and I majored in human developmental sciences with a minor in education studies.
Ooh, same. My major was sociology with a minor in education studies. So, yes. All right. So, we're just going to get right onto it. So, we're going to start off the conversation with study spaces. Like, I know I spent a majority of my time at UCSD, like, actually in the library or like on any centers. Even though I was living on campus for those 2 first years, I I hardly spent time in my room just because I knew I couldn't study in there. So maybe just like what was your experiences with like the study spaces at UCSD? Are there any recommendations that you would have?
So personally, I studied at Geisel on the second floor on the East Wing, and that was just like the best place ever because there's like a coffee shop and it's open 24/7, and there's like a computer lab area, and those computers have like all the software that UCSD offers, and so that was like a very handy place for me. For me, I think, well, first of all, I want to say that it's so important to find like a study space because when I went in, I didn't think it was like so important or so serious until like the end of my like end of second year. It was like I need a study space, and when I found my study spaces throughout the whole campus, I found that I was more like productive, finishing things on time, and even getting ahead. So like I think that's like something so important, and I cannot emphasize enough finding a study space like as soon as you go into UCSD. So for me, it was across every single college, there's like different commuter spaces. And even though they're called commuter spaces, they're open to absolutely everyone. And most of the time, the thing is that they're empty. So it was a nice, quiet space where you could go and like I would take my lunch with me throughout the day, go to my classes, and then like microwave my food there. I don't know how it's gonna happen now with COVID, but that was my favorite places were the commuter spaces because it even varies like across every single college. For some, you find like some nature next to it, others like a little more busy people. So it's nice to have like a different environment all across every college, and you find the commuter space. So I love the commuter spaces.
Yeah. Do you maybe want to elaborate like what commuter even means?
Oh yes, so a commuter is actually people that go they go back and forth, so they're living maybe off campus or maybe living if you're local here in San Diego with your parents. And so you're just going back and forth, like home UCSD, and UCSD offers these spaces for those students that don't have somewhere to be. Because a lot of students that live on campus, they can just go back to their dorms, but students that actually don't live on campus, these spaces were created for them to study, for them to even like take a break, go nap before your classes, heat up your food. So that's what a commuter means, and that's what a commuter space is used for. I wasn't a commuter, but I benefited so much from those spaces.
I know. Like, I feel like I also found commuter spaces to be so nice just because most of the time they were empty. So it's like you have all that space for yourself and like, you don't gotta worry about other people as well. Hey, Alondra.
Sorry, I was muted. Hi, we have a question in the chat. So someone is asking, are there many spaces off campus near UCSD? And I want to believe they're referring to study spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one place I can think about is the Living Room Cafe in downtown La Jolla. And that was such a lifesaver because, as I mentioned, Guido 2E is 24/7, except for Fridays and Saturdays. I think it closes like at 6 or 8. And so if I still had work to do after that, I would take the 30 bus down to downtown La Jolla, and then the Living Room Cafe is open until like 2 a.m. So it's a huge lifesaver. For me, I think I would recommend like a closer area to UCSD. Is like we all know there's a UTC like a mall, and I fell in love with the corner bakery shop there. And I would just go and study there, and then in the weekends they used to have like half off coffee, so I would like be drinking coffees while studying, and it's such a nice like quiet, not quiet environment. It's like a little more noisy with people coming in and out, and coffee shop music playing, but I find myself to be more productive when it's like a little bit more noise and completely silent. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the good thing about like coffee shops in general. Like I feel like it's just a common fact that those places are for studying or like doing work. Because whenever I would go to a coffee shop, it would always be someone like not even someone. Everyone that was there would be on their computers or like with books. So it was like,
Yeah.
you're not alone studying there. So you don't feel out of place. I love that. Is there any other places y'all can think of?
So on campus, another place that I would study a lot too was Price Center. Not like where the food is, but if you find that if you go up like more in higher levels, there's like these couches where you could sit on your own, and they have like plugs to charge your computer. And that was like I was there from morning to night just because I was like didn't notice so much the difference. People were just coming in and out, and I believe Price Center stays open for 24 hours because I know Burger King opens 24 hours. I don't know how it works, but Price Center was like a nice area too for me. And then within Price Center, there's another place that's called The Loft, and it's a restaurant. Um, Kind of they have like different kinds of food, so I would go in there and study there too. Yeah, those were like my top ones.
No, yeah. Something pretty cool about the loft too is how like they had a whole bunch of different like events each night. Like sometimes it was DIY nights. It's not just a study space or a restaurant. It's like you can socialize too.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun. Um, I know we mentioned the guys so already, but like, is there anything else? Like, I know I spent a majority of my time not on the second floor, but on the west side. I felt like the coffee shop and the computers were too much for me. So I feel like every time I went to the east side, it was so like a completely different space, even though it's on the same floor. And don't they also have like those running machines where you can type as well?
Yeah, I feel like guys with 2E is really social, which I kind of need in order to like I don't know, I can't study in like complete silence. But if you do want something more quiet, there is the biomed library, which is a little bit like it's a 5-minute walk away, and it's way quieter. They have study rooms. And then there's also the GPS library, and it's like a lot smaller, but there's sometimes less people because like a lot of people don't know about it. So sometimes if you can't find spaces in the other libraries, you can go there.
I am one of those people that don't know about the GPS library. Do you maybe want to elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, I think it's called the Global and Public Policy. I don't know, it's something like that. I can like Google it really quickly. School of Wait, it's coming up. My internet is slow.
It's okay.
Yeah, so it's the School of Global Policy and Strategy. So it's kind of like near iHouse.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So one thing that's pretty cool about Geisel is how, like, as the as you get higher up, like the quieter the noise level is supposed to be. I always felt so like weird being on the top floor and like just making a little noise, and I felt like everyone was gonna stare at me. But yeah.
Yeah, that's why I would personally avoid like guys. I would only go in. I think it's like the first floor, like the one that's like way at the lower, and there's like people are just like talking and it's like noise, you know. I thought I liked quiet places, but then I tried it my first year and I was like, no, I cannot. Like you would hear people flipping pages, like, and the floor was completely silent. And I was like, okay, I don't think this works for me. I need to go down floors.
Yeah.
At the end, I heard that 8th floor was remodeled. I never got to go up and to see how it looked exactly. I don't know, Jackie, were you able to? No, I never. Like, I went to the top floors like during my freshman year, but I don't know. It was just not my vibe, so I never went back. But I think you can kind of search for study spaces in like the study buildings themselves. Like I guess not study buildings, but like the lecture buildings. Like I know Galbraith has like a room for studying, and at least like in the bioengineering building, inside there's like small study desks, so you can also study in there. So I'm sure other buildings have something similar. Yeah.
Hello. Hi again. So someone asked if you could talk a little bit about the places you would go to study versus the places you would go to meet up with friends.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Yeah. You want to go first, Jackie? I go first. Yeah, I don't. I haven't thought of anything right now. Okay. I feel like for me, the Price Center was a place for me to go and hang out. Mainly when I finished at the end of my major, I had so many research classes that required me working with groups. So for me personally, going to Geisel, it was sometimes full and not able to find seats for a big group that I was working with. So I would go to the Price Center, we would grab lunch or we would grab a coffee and we would just talk and stay there for a couple of hours, brainstorm ideas for our research projects. So Price Center for me was more of like, yeah, like a studying alone, but more of meeting up with my friends and talking about what was going to go on with my research projects, as opposed to Geisel, it was more like me alone, or as opposed to the commuter spaces, it was me just on my own. That was like my alone place to study. Another place that's actually on campus that I forgot to mention, it's by Remac in ERC, that area. It's called Pete's Coffee. And so there in that area, I would also study a lot too, because they have indoor and outdoor. And I was more of like me alone studying. Yeah, personally, I like even in groups, I would like to go to Guys with 2E because it's loud there and like you can speak at whatever volume. And also, like you mentioned, I would go to Price Center at the CCC. So for my senior design project, we were like a group and we had to meet like each week and we were always able to find space there. And then also, um, I guess I would also go to coffee shops because it feels like you're studying and you're working, but it also makes you feel like you're enjoying your time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I was gonna add on to that. I'm glad you brought it up. How like coffee shops, it helps a lot to go to UTC or like wherever Corner Bakery was. There's also in Mission Valley, we'd probably get into later. But it would help like as a break. Say like, okay, I'm gonna go study with my friends, and then a few more hours. Okay, let's go walk around the mall. Okay, let's go back to studying afterwards. So, like having like a little break wouldn't feel like, oh my god, I'm studying for like long amount of time. So yeah.
No, yeah. I feel like there's so many places at UCSD where you can do both. Like you can socialize and study at the same time. Like I know whenever I had like a group study session, I would make try to reserve a room at guys or like any room was fine with me just because I felt like if I was in a room, no one else could hear me, even though it's not true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear everything through those rooms.
It's true. Okay. Is there any other places? Maybe outside of UCSD as well?
So for me, something that it's really important is being able to find the software needed for like assignments. Because I know for the engineering classes, you need access to like SolidWorks or MATLAB or ANSYS or whatever. And so being able to find places where I would have access to those is really important. And so one of the places is how I mentioned at Guys 2E. The computers there have pretty much everything you can look for. And I know that also the basement at the applied mathematics and physics. I don't know,
Yeah.
AP&M, something like that.
AP&M.
Yeah, so their basement has a whole bunch of computer labs as well. And also at the mechanical and aerospace engineering building, they have like rooms full of computers as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, that's so good. Like being able to use a computer, like whenever mine wasn't working, was always such a lifesaver. Like, I don't know how many times I had to use one of the computers at any of the spaces around. Mm,
Yeah, I
right.
think Zaki is like emphasizing on something so important, being able to find I know for like my major it's in AP&M, so they would always reference us to go into the computer labs in there just because at the end some computers are not able to handle like the software and it could freeze or something and you could be like halfway through your research and like it completely like everything erases or what it's happened to me multiple times. So being able to find a place if you know that you need it for your classes, things like that, it's really important. And AP&M or the library, how she's been mentioning, is really important when it comes to the software.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. All right. Well, we can move a little bit more towards like center spaces, such as like the cross cultural center, the women's center spaces, just stuff like that. Is there any like were there any centers that you all were felt like were more for you? Like you felt like you found yourself there more often?
Yeah, so I definitely use the Rasa Research Center. I always got like my coffee there, used the microwave, printed, took a lot of naps. And also the Undocumented Student Services Center. They have like tea, coffee, chocolate, some food as well. And like the what are those testing things called? The blue books. Yeah. So yeah, they had like a lot of resources there. For me, mainly it was Undocumented Student Center. I think it was my second year. I was there like a lot. I blame the bagels. I think I gained weight because of the bagels that were there. I would go get my coffee, bagels, study there for a while before my class. Be able to print. Undocumented Student Service Center offers that. Another place where I was a lot a center. This depends on the student, but it was CAS, so it was Chancellor's Associate Scholarship Program, and it depends if you're like part of the scholarship or not. I believe they open it to everyone though, because at the end I started to bring some of my friends with me to study there when they wanted to study with me. And CAS was just like I was always there all the time, and I would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go study the CAS," and they were like, "Well, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, you can come with me," and like they were welcomed in, and they also provide for you snacks. They allow you to print, and it's more of a quiet environment. But those were like the two centers mainly. And the other advice I would give is that depending on your major, you have like your own center open. Different, but those are more specific to only students within that major. I know my major, human development, was like no one is allowed in here, only for like human developmental students. And I was like, what? But there you find like students within your major, students that are taking the same classes as you, and it helps so much because you can speak with them about, oh, well, what classes are you taking? What advice can you give me for the future? I'm currently stuck in this. How can you advise me in it? You also find TAs in there sometimes providing office hours. So really finding a center related to your major if you're more want to be more focused on that.
I think something I forgot to mention was the Oasis Center. So I did Summer Bridge the summer before entering my freshman year. And throughout like the first year, they make you take like, I guess they're called like tutoring classes where they help you like kind of learn how to study and stuff like that. And I thought that was really useful. I feel like I didn't know what to expect from college, and they really like helped guide me through the process.
Yeah. I really benefited, especially from Oasis, from the writing courses that we had to take, and then having there were like writing workshops you had to sign up for, like math and things like that. So yeah, those are really helpful, Oasis too.
And something else that isn't really like a center, but I found that the Trident Food Pantry was really useful. Like they give you, I think you have like 10 points you can use per week. And so you can get like vegetables or like pasta or stuff like that. And you can go each week, you just need your student ID. And so whenever like, you know, I was low on money, that would be a really good resource.
I actually never knew about that until the end. And I was like, I went in with a friend, and he was like, okay, let's get some food. And then I was like, they're really not going to ask you for anything. Like, you just have to swipe your card. And he was like, yeah, that's all you do. And then I was like, how are they going to know? Like, I can take the food and just walk out. And it amazed me. They have like vegetables, like fresh fruits, and like you said, pasta and things like that. So yeah, that's definitely something you can benefit from.
No, yeah, I feel like for me it was also the food pantry. Like it is a lifesaver, honestly. Like I know I'm so forgetful. So sometimes I wouldn't even bring my ID, and even just like your PIN number was sufficient enough to like for them to be okay with giving you the food. Yeah, like they have a variety of food. It's so incredible, and it's all free for you. So it was really helpful.
I I think they made like a mini version of it. I think it's called like the Little Food Pantry or something like that. And you know, like it's in the arcade in PC, so like right across from Geisel. And it's not like food, but they have like snacks and like sometimes they have yerba mates. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's really useful too. And you don't even need your student ID. Like there's nobody there watching. You just get whatever you want.
Oh, that's the fun thing about UCSD. Whenever you go into the center, there's so many snacks all the time. You can just grab them, take them, and like leave, and they won't even tell you anything.
That's so true. And then I feel like the centers have a lot of like events where there's free food as well. And like you get to socialize with other people too. So it's like you get free food and you get to make more friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Were there any events that you all like remember going to?
Okay. I know I remember hearing them, but I hardly would went to events. I'll be honest. Maybe just the ones at my college, because it was just like right there, walk out of my dorm. And ERC, there's a lot of like giving out Shake Shack or giving out like In and Out or like food like that for free. And you just have to like go around and do like the different activities they ask of you. So my friends would just text me, hey, I'm gonna head over to the green area. Do you want to come? And then like we would just all meet up there and then go back and study. So that was always nice, getting free Shake Shack. During Sun God, I remember once they actually gave out like Chick-fil-A, and there was like something very famous that it was like a bread like and pasta in there. They gave out like different foods because they closed off where the cars go by in ERC, and then they just gave like a whole bunch of free food just for being an ERC student. So I was like, yay, ERC! But yeah.
I feel like that brings me back to like a welcome week, or every time like the people would go into like library walk and like you get free drinks, free shirts, free stuff. So
I know, yeah.
I feel like those are gonna be some of the things I'm gonna miss the most from UCSD. Okay. Well, we can move on to like I guess any like hidden gems that you all found about UCSD.
Okay, I'll go first. So when I was thinking about like what I would say for a hidden gem, I was thinking so much about my study spaces. I know typical like student at UCSD. So then I was like, okay, I need to step away from that. And there's actually a coffee shop within UCSD that's called Mom. And I was like, some girls sometimes told me, oh, I'll meet you at Mom. And I was like, where's Mom? And they're like, it's actually middle of near. And they have like a coffee shop there. People, it's more like for a hanging out area. There's also like by Pete's Coffee in Ramac and ERC. There's something called Glider Port Lounge that's on top of Pete's Coffee, and it has such a nice view of like the beach. So that's more like a hanging out area there. I believe they have like games too, and then they like have TVs, and you can like go in and they have sports. So that's really nice. Do you want to say something, Jackie?
So I think the only like thing I can think of right now is the little area in front of the Price Theater Center, like the theater in Price Center. There's like really comfortable couches, and so you can like do your work, eat your lunch, and then take naps. Like a lot of people nap there. Like it's crazy.
Hello.
Hello. Someone just asked, what is your favorite spot on campus to just hang out by yourself?
Oh, that's hard. Let's see. Okay, I'm a very person that just loves like having nature around me. And like I found that it would relax me so much when I was in college. And I actually have two places that, and I wouldn't like go there and study. I would just go there and like have, sometimes I just needed time to just walk out and like not focus on my studying and everything that I had to do. And so there's actually this place over by Revelle. They have like it's like the art kind of like theater and art, something like that. I don't know the name exactly, but I found this place because I was in a theater class, and I would go there time before my theater class would start, and they actually have like in front of where the theater is, just like an empty place, and it's literally empty because no one's gonna go over all the way in Revelle. And I would like nap there, and I would rest, and they have like there's like a nice view with like trees, especially in the fall. Like you would just see like the leaves, and it was really nice. Another area where I would like to always be alone was like in ERC. I mean, can you tell I'm an ERC student? They have like a green area in front of the cafeteria, and it's just like a grassy with like trees and everything. So I would just go there and sit and just like relax and try to give myself a break from everything, from how busy UCSD can get sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't really hang around campus for fun. So.
Oh, yeah, I feel like for me, even when I wasn't studying, I was at Geisel. Like, I just knew that being at Geisel, everyone was doing their own things. So it's like no one would really be paying attention to me. So it was like I was in my own headspace, like doing my own things, whether it was studying or not. But yeah, that was my favorite part. Okay. Mm, is there
Okay, so
anything?
one place that it's not on the UCSD campus, but it's on the UCSD, like I guess affiliated property, the aquarium. If you go behind like the aquarium parking lot, there's like the swing thing. You just like walk like I don't know how long it is, but it's like 2 minutes down the little trail, and you find a swing there, and it's a really cool place to take pictures.
Really? Oh my God. I never knew about that.
No, it's hard to find because
Yeah.
Like people put it up because it's like it's not like a legit swing. People put it up and then like I guess UCSD takes it down and
Mhm.
then people put it up again. So it's elusive.
That's so cool.
I mean, yeah, and then on that same track, Jackie, if you go like it's not in UCSD, but it's in the area of UCSD, and it became part of UCSD now because people actually park there. But it's glider port, and you just go there and walk, and then it's how would I even explain it? And you're at the top, and you can see like the beach view down, and you can even hike it down. But then that takes you to Black Beach. Um, so that area is like nice. I would actually go there at the end of every quarter and see like the sunset as like kind of like a tradition. Like, oh yeah, I finished another quarter. Now that's like the beginning of a new one. I know, super cheesy, but that's something me and my friends would do all the time.
And something you can check out, it's not like to hang out, but it's to like, I guess, experience is going into the Fallen Star, which is
Yeah.
the like little house that's hanging off the edge in the engineering building. And so you can go up there, and I think it's open like Tuesdays and Thursdays at some specific time. And I heard like on the inside, like the size of the house kind of changes. So one side is like shorter and the other side is taller. So the pictures are really cool.
Yeah. Or like the arts around the campus, like the Big Bear, the Red Chair, um, the rocks. I forgot the name for that. It's like in Revelle, but there's like I don't even know how many art we have around campus, but they said that there's like supposedly one in every college. I was only able to
Yeah.
go to the Big Bear, the Red Chair, and then those rocks. I don't think I went to like another one.
Yeah. So next to the bear, there's like the neon lights. I don't know if you've seen that. I feel like everybody has seen that. So that building with
Oh
the
yes,
huge
actually
neon
yes.
lights. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I was like, wait, what? No neon lights? Yeah, that.
I heard about the neon lights like my first time at that college. What college is it? Is it Warren?
It's in the Warren area.
Warren. Yeah. The first time I was there, I was like told that the first word that you see is supposed to represent how your 4 years are supposed to go.
Yeah.
And it's so, I felt like those words were so cool because it's like, isn't it like a positive word and then like a negative word as well? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's so interesting seeing all the different like art installations, I guess, that are around UCSD.
I mean, there's like snake path also in the library. There's like a as you go down the snake path, the like secret garden area. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. It's like so nice when you can take pictures there. I really like it. They used to have like
The garden with like the little bench.
that.
Oh yeah.
I took a lot of my grad pictures there. It was really nice. And they used to have like a water fountain, but then they turned it off. It's just there now, but it's really nice right there too. So, and within that same area, you find like a lot of. I'm always talking about green, grassy areas, and you just see people there sitting down, like having a little lunch, enjoying because there's so much green areas around Geisel, like as you walk down the snake pad. So that's like really nice to hang out there too.
And then another place, not really on the UCSD campus, but like in the Scripps campus, there's the Caroline Seaside Cafe, which is like a place to get brunch and stuff. And then UCSD students get like 30% off. So that's pretty cool.
So delicious. It's like really, really good. I was like, oh, the day of my birthday, I was like, I want some Caroline's breakfast. That's all I want.
I went there for my 22nd birthday.
It was this year too for me for my 22nd on January. So I was like, yeah, I need to definitely go get some Caroline's breakfast. It's really nice. Has like a really nice beach view. It's like literally in front of the beach.
Oh yeah. I feel like Caroline's is so pretty and it's like it's worth everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we can move on a little bit more to like the area outside UCSD. So like what surrounds UCSD in a way. I know one of the
Like
things that
I'll go for it. Go for it.
No, yeah, go for it.
Do you mean like including all of San Diego, or just like within proximity of UCSD?
Everything, all of San Diego.
Okay, there's a lot.
I know, too much.
Well, if you want to start off close, there's in downtown La Jolla, there's this museum called like the Museum of Contemporary Art of San Diego or something like that. And it's really cool. And like you basically go in there free. And if you go inside, there's a statue made by the same person who made the sun god statue. And it's really cool to see like, you know, how similar they are.
Hi.
Hello, I'm sorry to interrupt. Someone asked, how often would you go to the beach during your time at UCSD?
Oh no. Fun fact, I decided to go to UCSD because of the beach. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be at the beach every single day. You know, it's like right next to me. Why would I not be at the beach every single day? Turns out I was only there like once a quarter when I would go watch the sunset. And that wasn't even in the beach. That was just like on top of Glider Port. I don't know why. I was not always at the beach. And I lived on campus. And when I finished my time there at UCSD, I was like, wow, I really wish I would have enjoyed the beach more. I definitely went not as much often as I wish I would have.
During my first 2 years, I went there like a lot. I would just go to like swim, or I've done the kayaking stuff, or even going down that hike. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's like Ho Chi Minh. It's like a pretty sketchy hike. Like it's really short,
Yeah,
but it's
I've
kind
heard
of
of
sketchy
it.
at some point. But after, when I had more responsibilities, I did not go there often. Like maybe once a quarter.
Yeah. I don't know if it was also because I'm like local and I was like, oh, it's La Jolla. Like I've been here before, or like I've been to the beach before. I didn't like go so often, but I would really recommend the few times that I did go all the way down to the beach, we were like probably one or two. I would actually take, there was a shuttle out at UCSD and it's called the SIO shuttle, and you take it in Revelle. I don't know if the route has changed now, but you take it in Revelle and it literally takes you right in front of the beach. It takes you right in front of Caroline's, and I think it even passes through the Birch Aquarium. So that's been like a fun place to go to also within UCSD. The Birch Aquarium is like an aquarium and you see the animals, and I think you can go outside and touch stars. I went there like a long time ago when I was in third grade as a field trip. But yeah, so just take the SIO shuttle and it like drops you off. It's like a loop and it takes you and it brings you back whenever you want. And you can download like the mobile app on your phone and you can see the routes. You can see where the bus is going, what time is it going to come back to pick you up. So yeah, that was like my biggest advice. If you decide to go to the beach, try not to pay for Uber. Just take the SIO shuttle and it'll take you right back.
No, yeah. I always felt like the shuttles are so cool because like you don't have to be a UCSD student to take them. Like they don't take ID or anything. Like you just get on and go. And it's like they go to so many places. It's so cool. Like I didn't know there was a a shuttle to Hillcrest until like
Yes.
my last year there when I was done living in like Chula Vista area. So I was like, oh my God. So
Yeah, I
I
actually
think
took the hill. Go ahead.
I was going to share that like another like small little place to go to. It's also near downtown La Jolla, and it's like this place called the Sunny Gym Cave, where it's like inside a store and you pay like $5 to go down like a bunch of stairs, and then you end up inside like a cave that connects to the sea. And like the really cool part is that the rocks make like a shape of a like it's a silhouette of like a head, and it just looks super cool.
Wow. Never went there before. In that area in like downtown La Jolla, there's also like a lot of food places. So I would go for Taco Tuesday. I really recommend Puesto. I don't know if you guys ever went to Puesto. There's also like the taco stand. It's really famous. And it's really nice being able to go there just maybe like for the weekend, and then you can grab some food, and then you walk right down, and there's like, I don't know what that place is called, but I know it's known for having like the seals there, and they have like a little night, like a little area where you can actually walk down and like go into the water. So it's like nice to be able to get away for a weekend, and they have like a park area. You can hang out there for the weekend. So yeah, that's like in downtown La Jolla.
I
And
feel
then
like
kind of nearby. Oh no, sorry.
no, go for it. Go for it.
So another cool place to go is like a little bit south of downtown La Jolla is La Jolla Shores. And so there you can do like kayaking and like snorkeling, I believe, and it's really cool. Sometimes you can get discounts. I think that I heard that the Outback Adventures Club at UCSD gave like free tickets or something like that. So you can look out for like special offers.
There's always UTC, the mall. There's like a movie theater there. There's also I think it's like University Shop Mall, where like there's Trader Joe's, Ross, and then there's like AMC there too. There's like a whole bunch of food places there. Across the street there's like BJ's. I believe we get discounts for being a student at BJ's, or like if you use Trident Cash, I think. Something like that. So that's that. UTC. I mean, I love Mission Valley. That's just because I'm local, and like Mission Valley, there's like Mission Valley and Fashion Valley, so they're like super close to each other. Then there's this place that's like, I don't know if a lot of UCSD students know it, but I love it there. It's called Liberty Station, and there's like so much food places. Okay, yes,
I love that place.
I was like, I don't know if it's too much pushing it. It's like in around downtown area, kind of like close to downtown. It's really hidden though. Like you have to put it on the GPS probably to get there. Like or downtown, Point Loma, not really Point Loma. I don't know how to explain where it's at. But if you just look it up, Liberty Station, oh, they have so many like food places, so many food places. And then you can do like arts there, and they have like seasonal events like ice skating for like, I know Christmas they go full out and they put like lights. And then there's like a park, and there's like a little bay there. I don't know, Jackie, do you want to add anything about Liberty Station?
Yeah, so there's actually one of my favorite cafes there. It's called the Moniker Cafe, and they have like really good drinks, and it's like has like an open space and like a lot of light. So it's a really nice place to study. And then, you know, like once you're done, you can go eat. So it's cool. And then I guess also another cool study spot is in downtown San Diego, like in Gaslamp, the San Diego Central Library. It's like a public library. If you go up, like the top floor is like this really open floor, like it's tall with glass walls. So it has a really nice view. And then if you go to the rooftop, it's like an open space, and you can also see like a lot of really views there.
I feel like one thing that's important to mention is how to get to all of these places, you don't really need a drive. Like you could just take a bus, a shuttle, or even the trolley. And I loved being a student so much because I didn't have to pay. Well, I didn't
MTS.
technically have to pay for that.
Yeah.
I think another really cool spot, like not at all studying related, is the Coronado Ferry. Coronado, whatever. It's like this little like boat you take, and you can get it from, I think, Little Italy, but I've taken it from the convention center, and it takes you over to like the island, and it's really fun. It's only like $10, I think. So you should check that out.
Oh, then I learned about Convoy because I was a UCSD student. So like UCSD Convoy, like I never heard of that before until I got to UCSD, and it's so well known. Like around UCSD, people tell you all the time, oh yeah, like I went to Convoy for the weekend or this. So it's actually like, I think like the best way to explain it is just like one street, and I don't know if it's in the Balboa Avenue, and it's probably like 10 minutes away from UCSD. I don't know what exit it is, but you can take the MTS there. at the end when I was getting to my 4 years, I actually heard that a shuttle used to take you to the Target in Convoy, and then you could just hang around there and take the shuttle back. And ever since I said I was just like take the car there, but they have so many good ice cream places. I don't even know how to pronounce the one I like the most. It's a complicated name, but they would do like a waffle and it would be like the cone and then your ice cream. They would do like in a shape of a flower. And they was like the most delicious like ice cream ever. They have like Korean barbecue there. They have so many, just like a lot of food places. I'm just talking about food, but yeah, that's like convoy UCSD.
It's a very important topic.
Yes, it is. It actually is.
So another cool place is Point Loma. And so it's where like Liberty Station is at, but they also have like this lighthouse. It's a national monument. And it's like at the very edge of the peninsula. So you have like an amazing view. And it's only like a $10 pass for like parking. So it's a really cool place. And I definitely recommend. And there's also the Sunset Cliffs. And I know they have some at UCSD, but there's like a different one. And like that's great because it's like an open space. So that's pretty cool too.
Have you all ever been to Balboa Park? I feel like that's something.
Oh yeah. See, I think it's because I'm local. I'm like, okay, Balboa Park. I was gonna say it for like if you're coming to UCSD and you're not from like San Diego, Balboa Park is like where it's at. There's so many museums. Just walk around in the weekend. When I don't know how it's gonna work this year because of COVID, but before it during Christmas they would actually do Friday and Saturday just like a whole bunch of Christmas celebrations. It gets so full. It's so hard to find parking, but it's so worth it. Like I remember once, I think I probably walked like not even lying 2 miles to get to like in the Balboa Park because I had to park so far away. I know it was crazy, but it was my first time. Oh, it's called December Nights, and there's just like all this like Christmas lights. Oh, the museums are free. You just can go in there. And it's such like a nice environment during Christmas. I love it. And just in general, like whenever you want to go and just walk, there's like a park there, and then in the back of it, it's a museum. So yeah, there's so many museums. There are like so many. I think I've gone to the Museum of Man, and then there's like Science Museum, and they're all really really nice. There's like the zoo right next to Balboa Park if you're interested in going to the zoo. I mean, there's also SeaWorld. We have SeaWorld.
And then for the museums, there's like days where they have free entry. So you should definitely look into that. So, you know, you can live the broke student life. And
Yeah.
also near Balboa Park, there's one of my favorite cafes. It's called Cafe Bassam, Bassam, something like that. And it's not really big, but it has like cozy vibes. So it's really cool, especially when it's raining or something. And it's like 2 streets away from Balboa Park. So you can walk to like the bridge later on and like, you know, enjoy the view. And it's also like within walking distance to the Bruce Street suspension bridge, which is like, you know, the little bridge that shakes. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And also somewhat in that area, like not super close, there's a Better Buzz in Hillcrest. So like there's a lot of Better Buzz coffees in the San Diego area, but one of my favorites is the one in Hillcrest because it has like so much space. There's like the first floor and like the top area, so it's pretty cool.
I feel like there's so many cool spots you could go to around UCSD. So it's like not one day will you be bored.
I feel like it's a matter of just getting out and saying like, okay, I'm gonna take the adventure. Because once I took the shuttle and I didn't know where I was headed, and I just like rode the shuttle and I was like, I'll see where it takes me. And then I like pressed the stop, and then wherever it looked nice, like I just got off and did it. That was like my first year. I think that was like the year I experienced the most. After that, like Jackie said, like responsibilities come in, like it's more of like something like staying focused of like where you're headed, your 4 years, staying on track. I know for me that was like a big deal, which that would probably be like my end advice when we like finish this talk. But yeah.
Hmm.
And another cool coffee spot is it's in Little Italy. It's called oh, I forgot. I wrote it somewhere around here. Oh, it's called the Lofty Cafe. So it's in Little Italy. It's a little pricier, but sometimes I just need the coffee, you know. And it's really cool.
We all need the coffee.
It's really cool because after you're done like working, you can go over to like the main street in Little Italy and buy like $1 pizza slices, and then you can walk over to the waterfront park, so you can like watch the sunset. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm mentioning a lot of cafes because I feel like towards my later years, like I would just study and work all the time. And so, you know, I wanted something to be able to like enjoy for myself and not burn out. So I would really use these coffee shop like dates as a way to like still enjoy my life and see the city a bit.
Yeah, same. I think towards my end time at UCSD, it was like, oh, I wanted to take a break in the weekend, but you find that you actually fall behind when you take like a break for the whole weekend. And so I had to find like something to say like, okay, how can I do it to where I feel like I'm going out, but I'm not stuck in my dorm like studying, or stuck at UCSD studying, or stuck at my house studying. Like, how can I do it to where I feel like it's like a date, you know, kind of going out and treating yourself, but at the same time, you're not falling behind academically. And coffee shops were really something that helped me out. I always went to Corner Bakery or Panera Bread because it was like so nice and quiet. So I was always just in those two. I don't think I ever completely went out of my way to find coffee shops. I mean, a famous one is Les Stats. And Jackie, did you talk about Les Stats?
No,
like
I didn't.
It's like a really, really famous one. They always told me, go there. It's open 24 hours. And like, they're like literally like everyone around you is just like studying. Like that's just how Les Stats is. And like the coffee was really good. But I never was able to actually go and visit.
Yeah, I went like twice because there's different ones, and I went to like two different coffee shops. But the thing is like they have really bad light. Like it's really dim in there. I don't know why, but it was not for me. So
yeah, when I would find like search it up on Google, like I would see the pictures and I was like, okay, no, this looks too dark for me. Like I need a place where I can stay awake and do work.
Another really good one is called Jennings House Cafe, and I think it's near Liberty Market Park, something like whatever you mentioned, near Point Loma.
Liberty Station.
And yeah, there you go. And it's really nice. It has like there's 2 floors, so there's like a lot of space, and it also has like a beach house vibe. Well, not like a beach house vibe, but like I don't know how to explain it. It's really nice. There's a lot of like light, and then if you like go 2 streets like down, it's like really steep, but once you get to the top, you have like the best view of the bay, and like I 100% recommend.
No, yeah. Thank you both for sharing all of that. Um, on a, I hope it's okay if I change the topic now. Is there any last remarks y'all want to add to like any spaces? Okay, well, like on a more sensitive topic, UCSD and San Diego in general are some of is like super close to the border. Like there's no arguing about that. Um, so if y'all are comfortable, was this something that you all thought about when choosing to come to UCSD?
Honestly, I didn't like. I thought about it when I was choosing UCSD, but it didn't really influence my decision. But it kind of, so I'm from LA, so when I would like visit my family, I would have to, you know, drive up the 5. And now like driving up, I would get kind of nervous, like just, you know, when you pass that one station. And I never really saw any like patrol cars except for like the very last time when I was moving out and moving back to LA. I saw like 2 cars. And like that was the first time I had ever seen them. And like I was in the passenger seat and my friend was in the driver's seat and we just looked at each other like it was just, but nothing happened. Like they were just there. They weren't stopping anyone. So I think for the most part it was fine.
I think for me, like I'm like I was already local and I was like kind of used to the climate here in San Diego, and that really wasn't like something that stopped me. Although like I would say, like when things started to get really bad after my first year, and I mean it in terms of like how the climate was and our current like president and everything, I felt so safe within UCSD just because of the fact that they were constantly emailing you and letting you know like how and like what how they were going about keeping their students safe. I know especially within the OnDoc Center, they were always sending out emails saying like, okay, like this is what's going on and like try to avoid these areas or these are your rights. And so things like that, I benefited a lot from like undocumented student center, service center because when I went into UCSD, I felt like I was alone in terms of like my status. It wasn't until I ran into the center that I became so like informed, like, okay, like this is, they have so many resources open to students. They have, I think it's a fellowship program still open.
Yeah.
Is it still open? Yeah. So like, it's like an opportunity for like undocumented students to be able to like work. And for me, I like benefited so much from that. And then from there, like Danielle connected me to like being able to get involved in research for my undergrad. And like, I just grew in a lot of experience. And then I was actually able to like help assist the attorney there for a while at Undocumented Student Service Center. And so they just have so much to offer to undocumented students. I was like working, I was telling Danielle last time, as a counselor assistant at a high school. And a lot of students didn't want to apply to college because they fear that safety reasons or like resources. And it's just once you step into UCSD, there's so much available more to you undocumented students. So yeah, I mean, like I could go so much, go on and on and on, but it wasn't until I went into UCSD that I like knew about all the resources that were available there. Definitely, they care so much about your safety, and they're there to serve you.
Thank you both for sharing. Were you gonna
Oh,
add
so
anything?
one, yeah, so one thing I really wanted to mention quickly was that so a lot of times we might not qualify for like internships or like jobs or stuff. But one thing that helped me was the summer research scholarship, the undergraduate
Yes.
research scholarships at UCSD. And like they fund you for the summer, or sometimes I think they also started a new scholarship for the quarter. And so they help you like gain experience while you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, definitely. I like love that the summer research, being able to like get involved into research. I was like, but I have no idea what research is. And like I'm in so, uh, social arts, it's like not like sciencey. I was like, how do you even conduct research in this area? You know, that was like me going into UCSD. UCSD is so top on research that I became involved in so much research, and I started to love it. It's like a lot of work, but I started to love it so much. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen just for the audience in case you all want to stay in touch, ask us any questions. Just feel free to follow us on our social media. And while I leave this up there, is there any like advice or something you would do differently that you would want to let others know about?
Personally, I went into UCSD really intimidated. Um, I felt like, like imposter syndrome. I was like, oh, I don't belong here. I got lucky or whatever. And like, I was never taught to aspire for more than just undergrad. So I didn't like, I was just thinking, okay, I'll graduate and then go straight into work. But I would advise to just ask questions to other people so that you can know like there's different things out there and just different things that you didn't even know about that you would love to do. So ask questions early on.
Yeah, asking questions is really good. There's like this saying, like the smart people ask questions. My biggest advice would be, you're in a quarter system, you're at one of the top universities, prioritize your mental health and your physical health. I think that as a student, you get involved in like clubs and like research and finding a job, and you find your schedule being so busy that you kind of sometimes start to lose track of your mental health. So it's really important to prioritize that above all, because then you find yourself that when that's lacking, so are your academics. And a lot of people think that because you take so much more, you'll be able to be like successful more, but you find yourself under pressure. At least that's me, like speaking from my own experience. So what I would do differently is definitely focusing on my mental health and like my physical health, and getting involved in research like from your first, second year early on.
And one thing I want to add is who you like surround yourself with is really important. So
Yes.
some people prioritize, having fun, and that's super cool. Like that's what they want to do, but also keep in mind about like what you want to do. Surround yourself with the kind of people that I guess have the same goals that you do, because it really helps. Like personally, like I want to go to grad school, so grades were really important for me and like research. So just being able to have friends who were also at the library 24/7 really helped me stay motivated and just keep going.
Yes. 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 That's like top on.
Okay. Well, if that's it from us, is there anything else you all want to add before we end this? Okay. Well,
Good
just
luck. Your 4 years are gonna go by flying.
yes. Just want to say thank you all for joining us today. We're gonna have another session tomorrow at the exact same time on the exact same link. So feel free to join us then too. Bye. Have a good day.